So, Tesla is going all in on full self-driving. And here is why.
President Trump, Rob Dawson, Fox News.
It was a wet spring in central Vermont.
God damn it, Haley! The guy pushed me in the damn road! Get off! Get off! Get off!
Yeah, this old man pretty much blamed the car accident on nobody. There was nobody there. Anyhow, the CEO of NVIDIA says that Tesla's full self-driving is the best. As a matter of fact, he said everyone should be doing it the way that Tesla is doing it. Basically not using LiDAR, just using the camera system alone and the neural net. This is very, very astounding knowing that the CEO of NVIDIA said this. And what's even crazier is that he doesn't even work with Tesla. NVIDIA is separate from Tesla, but here is a gentleman on his own, smart enough to realize, hey, whatever Tesla is doing is way better than what Waymo and Cruise and any other company that's trying to create their own assisted driving at all. He basically says that this is the best and only way that everyone should be doing it. So once upon a time, Tesla was using NVIDIA chips inside of their cars. They now have moved away from NVIDIA, but I mean, they're doing their own chips or whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is that the CEO of NVIDIA still claims that Tesla is doing it the best. Many people will disagree and say this and that and blah, blah, blah. But Mercedes-Benz, they came out with their own full self-driving. Well, if that's what you want to call it. But it did a very bad job. It basically had about 40 interventions, which means you have to interfere in about 20 minutes. And a Tesla was doing the same exact drive as a Mercedes-Benz and had no interventions. Nobody had to touch a steering wheel in that time. But in just 20 minutes, the Mercedes-Benz, which was following the Tesla, because it can only work if it's following another car, had to be interrupted 42 times. This is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. Tesla is far, far ahead. The CEO of NVIDIA said it himself. He said that Tesla is far, far ahead in the race for full self-driving. Also, the CEO of NVIDIA said that one day it'll be standard for people to have a car with full self-driving. Basically, everybody in the future is going to buy a car, and if the car doesn't have full self-driving, it's most likely they're not going to buy the car at all. It's just like once upon a time when everybody was using the BlackBerry, and then once upon a time they were like, hey, this phone came out, it's a iPhone, and everyone was like, yeah, who's going to buy a phone with no buttons? Years later, no one's using a BlackBerry, and basically everyone who buys a phone now is going to be a smartphone. It's just standard, and this is the outcome for cars in the future, basically electric cars. And this is going to play out. A lot of people will still give pushback and say this will never happen, blah, 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 blah. But then again, let's revert back to these here videos, right? Right. So this coming August, on August 8th, 8/8, which is a lucky number in China, the number 8, Tesla is going to reveal some information about their robo-taxis. This is going to be a big deal, ladies and gentlemen, when this day comes around. Tesla is moving forward to making self-driving cars, robo-taxis, basically just a passenger car for 1 or 2 people to jump inside and go from point A to point B with no steering wheel. This is going to move the mark, ladies and gentlemen, for the auto market. There are people who are saying this will never happen for years. It's too far away, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, it's not far away at all. This is going to be a massive moment in history, in our history. In our lifetime, cars are going to be driving themselves independent of humans touching the steering wheel at all. This is not technology that's going to be in the next 30, 40, 50 years. This is about less than 3 years away. I mean, maybe even 2 years. So anyhow, point of the story is that self-driving is getting so much better. Tesla is far in the lead. They are leading the charge. Haha, get it? Leading the charge. Well, whatever. But anyhow, that's the point of this entire video, people, is that full self-driving is coming closer and closer. And I don't understand how people will sit here and fight against a car which is driving much safer than a human being. Like, once upon a time, people thought that airplanes were crazy and that no one would ever get in them. But nowadays, pretty much that is a very regular way of traveling. Funny enough, it's safer than driving in cars. But that's because it's being governed by a computer. And this is what's going to happen with vehicles, people. Self-driving cars are getting better and better. Less people will be having to drive, touching the steering wheel, let alone falling asleep at the wheel. Well, that's enough information for today. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow. I post videos daily about what's going on in the auto market, Tesla, big tech, and all sorts of things. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. See you tomorrow.